good weekend.
Busy, huh?
Not so busy.
Not so busy.
Very restful.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not lying?
I'm not lying. I'm really not lying. It was restful. It was actually because I made a very conscious effort
To rest.
to rest.
Oh, okay.
I've been tired the entire
I see.
week.
Because I'm looking at your eyes, and you have a bit of heavy eyes this morning. Yeah.
That's because I had to move from a far place to come here this morning.
Far place. Why?
Yeah.
Far away. Did you go overseas?
No.
Okay. Where'd you go?
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Talk to me. What's in the trends this morning?
Okay, so we have Techiman to Accra trending. Can you guess why? It's this whole Guinness World Record thing.
Yeah.
So we have Rafiu Seidu, who is attempting to complete a 381-kilometer journey from Techiman to Accra. Now I have seen on foot. I have seen a video where he seems to be getting some form of medical care. So I don't know whether he has given up, whether he's struggling. But this whole idea of breaking records, aren't you supposed to submit a certain file, report, or something before you start? Because
You put an entry in, then you're notified, and then there are guidelines for how it will be done. You record everything. You send the document for what you've done. It will be reviewed and assessed, and then based on that, decision is taken. In some instances, they would have to come and be with you throughout the process.
Okay.
And then after, they will review based on what they've seen, and then they will give you their report, whether it's a record that's been broken or it hasn't.
So all of these people are saying that Guinness World Record has approved them. I mean, we had Dramathon last week, and then we have Walkathon this week.
Yeah,
and then at a
Talkathon,
point we had Talkathon,
Kebathon,
and we don't hear
Cookathons.
anything after. Like, they just trend for maybe a couple of days while they are doing it, and then they just go off.
Fizzles off.
I mean, what?
I mean, somebody has to. And it's interesting you brought this up, because I think it was last week, Wednesday or Thursday, I said, hang on, we are in April. From the Christmas time, when we had the sing-a-thon become a big thing, we've had a number of thongs. And who is shepherding, coordinating, ensuring that all these things we're doing ends up into something of meaningful value for us?
Exactly.
Otherwise,
And pardon me, and this is no offense to anyone, but I think that a certain level of seriousness has to be attached to it, because it's a Guinness World Record.
no, but truth is that if you look at the Guinness Book of Records, some of the records are not as serious.
The activity, but because of how we've sort of trivialized it here in Ghana, you're not getting as much support. At some point, I even began to feel as though it was just a popularity something. People just wanted to be known for having attempted something, but then that's not it. People train for years to be able to even make an attempt. But here's the case where someone does something and now someone is just thinking, okay, what can I do? Maybe I can blink for 15 minutes. I can blink for an hour. I can do this. I think that it's devaluing the whole essence of breaking a record.
I get that.
It's not with the activity,
I see.
but with how hasty
things are being done.
Yes.
It also exposes, I don't know if what I'm about to say is too big a judgment, but attention to detail. Because all these persons who've attempted these things, I would imagine that before they started, there was a clear guideline on what they were supposed to do.
Yes.
Who was ensuring that every minutest detail is done and done right, so that when they are done, they will not be disqualified on a technicality.
Exactly.
Because you look at the effort that goes into it, the hours, the rigor, the resources, all the things going into it, and then we're flawed on a technicality, a mistake, a misstep. That also says something about how deliberate or not so finessed in our execution that we need to pay attention to. It's important. It's really and we must pause for a moment to reflect. It's not just about the thorns. You can even relate it to many things in our society and how we approach it. Are we scattergun? Oh, it's come up, Charlie. Let's try. Then we try, we do it. At a point, do we even review what we've done? Have we done better? Can we do better? How do we improve? So we've done a number of things. Is there a point where you say, okay, hang on, guys. Let's have a group of people or a team or a board that says, okay, this is Ghana. You're doing this in the name of the country.
Someone can even take it up to look at the guidelines even the public could sort of have access to some of these
Yeah.
things and see, okay, since you are doing a walkathon, what does it entail? Do you just get up and then start walking? Who is recording you? How many hours of rest are you supposed to have? And all of that. We don't know anything. We just sleep and wake up and we hear someone is doing a kibabathon somewhere, someone is doing. I think, and if we continue to do this and we are not winning, or the record is not being, certified and all of that, at a point when you even say you are doing something and you are actually doing it with a lot of seriousness, people are not going to pay attention to it. They are going to think it's like the boy who cried wolf. You know that story?
Yeah.
Where he kept crying. Now someone is actually determined to do something, make Ghana proud.
Yeah.
And we are just going to see him as, it's another of those.
Let's see.
Exactly.
If it works, hey, hooray. If it doesn't,
If it
well,
doesn't,
we didn't pay too attention.
and a lot of people are actually going to think it wouldn't work because we have over time not paid attention to
In a
it.
short period of time, we've gone at it in many directions.
And I mean, look at even the singathon.
Yeah.
So much went into it, but even with that, she was still disqualified based on certain. So if
Technicalities.
even with that, I think that we could check it. We could
Anyway.
check certain
Okay.
things properly. And
All
then
right.
Dreams FC, we were here,
Oh.
we're giving them fans.
Oh, what a
You
dream.
know.
Pum, pum, pum. The dreamers.
We're
And
giving
no,
them
but. Okay, now again.
I actually had high I wasn't a Baba
No,
Yara
I
first
was
video, but-
very hopeful that
Yes, me too.
for the first time, we could, do one over with the Egyptian traditional, continental clubs. But we fell short.
Mm-hmm.
We fell short. And we lost. I've had many interpretations to why we have lost. But point is, the result speaks for itself. We went there, couldn't score. We drew. We were excited. When we came back, I think the job should have been, okay, we didn't score there, which means the game is still open. If Zambia score one goal, they have an away goal advantage. How do we ensure that we keep our door shut and at least get a goal? Get a goal or two and then preserve it. We couldn't do that, sadly. I don't think the learning is only for Dreams FC.
Don't you think that in general, even with our bigger team, the Black Stars, there seems to be this sort of relaxation? I don't know. Anytime we do something good, just a little. In fact, sometimes even in the game,
You
once
mean
score,
we celebrate too early?
we celebrate too early and then we fall back,
Complacency.
and then they equalize. And we are trying to see. The thing about rebranding is it's always more difficult to rebrand than it is when you are branding first of all.
Yeah.
So I feel like your energy should be up until the end, because they say that you don't stop praying when you are tired. You stop praying when you are
When you're
done.
done.
So if you are going,
It applies to everything. You don't stop when
you
you're
don't
tired. You stop when you're done.
When you
Yeah.
stop when you are done.
Yeah.
So if you go to their country and you draw, of course, because we know that they are a good team. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's good. But you didn't score.
Yeah.
It was a goalless draw.
Yeah.
So at least when you come here and you couldn't even score one, it's not like it was 3-1 or maybe 3-2 or something.
Could score one.
3-0. And this is even after everybody flooded the Baba Yara Sports Stadium.
Gave you lots of
giving them-
support.
Exactly. Even in their country, when you were not getting as much support, you were able to maintain a level head and even, ensure that they couldn't score. Then here, when you were having all the fans, so what exactly is wrong with, because I think in the last game we played, Black Stars, was it the AFCON? You realize we scored, I think 2, and then they came to equalize, and then they beat us. There was this particular game, I don't know who we're playing, I've forgotten who we're playing against. I was extremely shocked. Like, I know sometimes with Black Stars, I don't have so much expectation, but I was very shocked.
That we could go ahead and get
Like-
down so quick.
I just
Now,
couldn't believe
watch for these 3 goals that we conceded against Dreams FC. 12th minute, 27th minute, 59th minute. So 12th and 27th is in the first 30 minutes of the game. That says something about mentality, team psychology, how we are psyched, how we are approaching, and how we're keeping the basics sorted. The 59th minute means second half, you've played the first 15 minutes. You're not even done with the first 15 minutes. You're down by a third. So it's possible that we may have had sorted our tactical shape well. There could have been individual mistakes, right? But there is something about the mind and how we condition to do things. If within the first 30 minutes you concede a goal, it shuts you down. You even throw the plan out of the door. But if you keep tight, First 30 minutes, you are in the game. You've not conceded. 40th minute, you are in the game. To halftime, the frustration begins to build, not for you, the home team. It will be for the away team. But once they score the first goal, they have impetus. It's okay. We have found a route. We know that if we persist in a certain corner, we may get a result. Then, after the second goal, I'm sure the guys went into the dressing room. Oh my God, we are losing. Oh dear, we are losing. What do we do? Coach will talk, give us tactical plan. Say, okay, let's do. You go first 15 minutes, boom, number 3. That's it. Which means you have to score 4 goals. 4 goals. You have to win 4-3. Once they didn't score even 1 goal, tells me that by the 3rd goal, Enfa, so mentality. I hope the team learns from this episode. They look to review. And it's something that, look, you raised a very important point about even to Black Stars. I think we don't take psychology in football serious. How a team is psyched to succeed. If we do not get the mind right, if we don't get our viewpoint of a standard, how we approach things, see ourselves that we can be the best we can, it will be a problem.
Is it a thing with a football team? So I think that in Africa, let me not generalize too much, and say in Ghana, for instance, the whole idea of getting into people's mind, trying to analyze, it's not something that we do. We churn out statistics just like that. We don't actually go into detail and check, okay, what is causing this? What made you think like this? What makes you think like that? Even in school, even our education system is structured for certain minds. It's not even structured for all kinds of minds. So if already the system is not so much into, okay, what are you thinking? How are you thinking? Why are you thinking this way? Why you shouldn't think that way? And so you see people reading self-development books like I was telling you this morning and all of that. But at the end of the day, there are certain things that should be checked early on. Now, the person is a footballer, probably was in Kotoko, did not have any of this psychological whatnot, comes into Black Stars, they just think, oh, he's a good striker, and that's it. He goes on the field, something happens, and the coach is not even looking at what is going on in his mind. The next thing is, why are you not, we had a plan. This was what you were supposed to do.
Why didn't you shoot?
Exactly.
Why didn't you follow the plan?
We had this, we don't usually do that here in Ghana, not just for football, in our general life.
Everything in life.
Your child is consistently doing well in school, something happens and they are falling, and the next thing the parent thinks is they are being distracted in class, they are not paying attention,
they are playing too much, instead of really knuckling down. Charlie, what's up?
Exactly.
Have a very heart-to-heart conversation.
No, so even if you're not having that in the very basic level, are you going to be having that over there?
Very interesting point you make there. Okay, anyway,
Inaki Williams, his brother Nico Williams, is also trending. I don't know whether you've heard.
Yes, so he scored. So there were a lot of racist chants in that game against Atletico Madrid. It was Atletico Bilbao against Madrid. Atletico Madrid were playing at home at the Wanda Metropolitano in Spain. They won 3-1. Atletico won 3-1. However, Nico scored the only goal for Bilbao. And when he scored, he pointed to his skin. Because there were a lot of racist jabs being thrown at him. And Atletico is very, very guilty. They have a history, a litany of cases where at home their fans are racist.
Oh.
Yes, there have been instances. And people have documented it. I even hear that a certain African player left the club on one hand because of that. Made a switch very quickly. I'm out of here.
He was even telling the referee to end the game or to pause for a while because of the chants.
The chants that were coming.
I think when you're in Africa, sometimes you don't see how serious these
racism is. Yes.
Comments can be and all of that. And when you go outside, there's also the conversation about we shouldn't talk about racism, because the more we talk about it, we are empowering it.
It's not.
I mean, what do you think? Because when I watch something like this, I was like, in this day and age, like, come on.
But it's happening.
People still saying we've not seen a black person before. Or I saw a video just last week of a child asking, this is a Chinese child, was asking a black man, why are you black? Is it that you don't bath or something? And I was very surprised, because these are advanced countries. They go to school, they learn. What do they learn in their school that meeting a black person is
It should also tell you how people are socialized. You see, everything begins from your immediate surroundings. So if a child is racist, chances are the parents are.
Yes.
Their immediate family are. Their friends are. We are what we are persistently exposed to.
Yes.
So if you see someone who is racist, trace down to where that thinking came from. How were they decided? How were they made to view things? Is black bad? Is white good? Like that kind of mindset is what you must, point to. And Nico has suffered this sadly, right? The larger job is on the Football Federation. They've been very flippant about this. When this matter comes up, they find a way to say, "Oh, but it's nothing." Vinicius Junior has been suffering this for the past 2-3 years, and every time he raises concerns about it, he says, "Oh, you are overdoing it. You are causing a lot of attention to the problem." But it exists, and if we don't address it, we're going to have issues. Over the weekend, there was a game played. A fan was banned, I think, for 3 seasons because he had chanted about a disaster that happened against rival fans. He's been punished 3 seasons. He's not going to enter any stadium across England. Spain, we've seen racism go on for a long time. Italy, same thing.
Yeah,
And you don't get that crackdown action to stop them from doing it. So is it that those at the federation at the very highest level are also inherently racist and you don't take any action in that direction? Yeah. You see, when you think it's not big deal, it means it's either you subtly support what they're doing, or you don't have the scruples to deal with it because of the backlash you will get and the consequence. Somebody has to stand up for the right things in society. Period. Racism should not be. Look, all of us must live in harmony, like ebony and ivory. But it does not begin by just talking and wishing it. It's by doing. It's by taking actions. That says, this is wrong. This action is wrong. Condemn it to the point where everybody says, we're not touching this. Slavery was once upon a time legal until people raised their voices and threw it away. Same for apartheid. It was institutionalized until there was a resistance to it, and then it moved out. The same should apply to racism in every facet, not only in football, in every facet of our life. It should be condemned roundedly. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Racism against whites is equally condemnable.
Yes.
And we must resist it across all fronts.
Yes.
Across all fronts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you see, the thing too is that even usually when it comes to racism, the attacks are on black people. But within the black community, you also have issues of colorism.
Oh, yes.
Because this person is fair and this person is
lighter or darker, yes.
Even when you want to say "obiaye" in quotes, "o skin, o color, wow," like all of those things. If you get darker, it means you are suffering. If you are getting lighter, it means that life is going well. So I think that if even we ourselves, there are certain things we are dealing with or we still have to deal with, it would be hard to have our voices heard. So we'd have to also check certain
But the
things.
baseline is,
Because
do
there are
not
also
judge people by their colors.
Who play but are not as dark as Nico.
Yes.
There are some that are not as dark as Nico. Some of them are not subjected to these kind of rants. But you have people like Balotelli. I remember him when I was
Mario fought it the whole way through. The whole way through.
Very dark.
He will actually throw things at you. He will not stand for it at all. And I think that's where we should get to, where when there's enough show of resistance to it, everybody says, okay, we're backing off now.
Yes.
But if we cajole it, conceptualize, try and reason it out, talk it around, no, it won't work. It will not work.
Yeah, hopefully it's something that we don't see in, I don't know whether I should say in a couple of years, because it's long overdue.
It's been up for a long time.
This to be happening at this particular time. I've been hearing it since I was a child, and I'm what's now.
Still on, yeah.
Oh, well, now studies indicate that hearing is the last. This is what did you know? Hearing is the last of the senses to be lost. That is before you die.
Oh.
That's the last thing.
So in the process of dying, the hearing is the last thing.
Is the last thing. That is why.
Before the heart.
Yes. You've not even heard of situations where people were literally dead but could still hear. And so if you
So the brain was working?
Probably.
Because all the senses are connected to the brain.
Then your hearing is actually the last of your senses.
Yes, senses.
To be lost. So people say that that's why people encourage others to talk to the person even if they are unconscious, like
in coma, because they could hear.
You keep talking, and some of them even after come to say that I heard a particular voice, and I thought it was an interesting one indeed. And then our food for thought, it says, find the exceptional in the ordinary. What will be worthwhile if it does not go acknowledged? So you should ask yourself that question.
Okay.
What will be worthwhile if it doesn't go acknowledged, or if it is never acknowledged? Find the exceptional in the ordinary.
Etornam, thank you so much for the trance this
Francis.
morning. Time check is 6 minutes past 9.